Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. We hope you're doing fantastic. Today's video is going to talk about the Mainland and Hong Kong closer economic partnership arrangement. Today's video is presented by our team who are Daniel Duran, Gabriela Garcia, Miroslava Huerta, me, Melissa Magaña, and Andrea Martinez. We hope you like it. Okay, as a way as introduction, I'm going to talk you about when this became effective. The CEPA, the Bilateral Free Trade Agreement between China, became effective in 1st January 2004. To talk about what it is, the agreement offers early market access to local and international companies with qualified Hong Kong-based companies regardless of nationality or size. Even after China complies with its World Trade Organization (WTO), many Hong Kong companies will maintain a sustainable advantage of the CEPA, offers even greater concessions beyond China's committed in the WTO concession. The CEPA covers three broad areas, namely trade of goods, trade in services, and trade and investment facilitation. It can be 3 or 4 because this last one could go into one. So broadly speaking, the liberalization allows early access to Hong Kong companies and service providers to the mainland market, ahead of China's WTO timetable. In some sectors like construction and real estate services, logistics, transport, distribution, or legal services, the concession extended beyond China WTO committee exceeded by the concession stipulated in the CEPA. China WTO commitments, including both concessions and limitations for each individual services sectors, continue to apply.
Okay, once it's clear what it is, we will mention the activities and program it implements. The Hong Kong Special Administrative Region and Mainland signed an agreement to deepen the liberalization of trade and services between the Mainland and Hong Kong, as well as to strengthen the bilateral economic and trade exchanges and cooperation. They signed an agreement on trade and goods, consolidating and updating the commitments on the liberalization and facilitation of trade in goods under the framework of CEPA to further enhance the level of economic and trade exchanges and cooperation between the mainland and Hong Kong. Also, they signed the investment agreement in order to progressively reduce or eliminate substantially all discriminatory measures on investment between the two sides to protect the rights of investors and to promote achieving process liberalization and facilitation of investment of both sides. They also signed the Agreement on Economic and Technical Cooperation, the ECOTEC Agreement, in order to fully enhance the level of economic and technical exchanges and cooperation between both sides. The Services Agreement made reference to the framework of the agreement between the mainland and Hong Kong on achieving basic liberalization of trade and services. It covers and consolidates commitments relating to liberalization of trade and service provided in CPA and its supplements, and also became a stand-alone subsidiary agreement relating to trade and service on the framework of CEPA.
In relation to the objectives, we can mention many of the reasons why this agreement was signed, but as the most important point, we can say that its main objective is to promote the joint economic prosperity and development of the mainland and the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region through the implementation of the following measures. The first one is progressively reduce or eliminate tariffs and non-tariffs barriers of the goods between the two sides. This will increase trade among members, improving the supply of products in their markets. The second one is progressively achieve liberation of trade in services through reduction or elimination of discriminatory measures. China and Hong Kong have a lot of service and offer. For example, mentors, business developers, technology consultants, So this will facilitate the consumption of this service. The third one is to promote trade and investment facilitation. Investment is always good, and in countries such as China and Hong Kong, investment will generate an important profits and developing the economic relationship between the regions. In order to achieve that objectives, the members of CEPA will respect the following principles. The first one is to abide by the one country, two systems principles. The second one is to be consistent with the rules of the World Trade Organization, also called WTO. This means that they have to act in accordance with the laws and proposals of the World Trade Organization. The third one is to accord with the needs of both sides to adjust and upgrade their economic regime. Both members will analyze each other's needs and in order to solve them in the best possible way. And finally, we have to achieve mutual benefits, complementary, and joint prosperity. The members of this trade is China and Hong Kong. They are located in Asia. And we have to mention that Hong Kong is a special area of internal sovereignty.
About the organisms, we have two main organisms. The first one is the Steering Committee, which functions are supervising the CEPA, interpreting the provisions of the CEPA, resolving any disputes that may arise during the implementation of the CEPA, drafting additions and amendments to content of the CEPA, providing steer on the work of the working groups, and dealing with any other business relating of implementation of the CEPA. The second organism that we have is the Cooperative Organization for Financial Services. The two sides adopt the following measures for further strengthening cooperation in the areas of banking, securities, and insurance. The mainland supports state-owned commercial banks and certain shareholding commercial banks in relocating their international treasury and foreign exchange trading centers to Hong Kong. Also, the mainland supports banks in developing network and business activities in Hong Kong through acquisition. The mainland supports the full utilization of financial intermediaries in Hong Kong during the process of reform, restructure, and development of the financial sector in the mainland. The two sides will strengthen cooperation and information sharing between their financial regulators, and also the mainland supports eligible mainland insurance companies and other companies, including the private ones, enlisting in Hong Kong. About the relationship between the CEPA and Mexico, we have the relationship with Mexico and Hong Kong. In 2019, Mexico was Hong Kong's largest trading partner in Latin America, and we were the 21st worldwide. Hong Kong was Mexico's 34th largest trading partner in 2019. Also, in 2019, bilateral merchandise trade between Mexico and Hong Kong increased by 7.2% in respect to 2018. Also, the average in the annual growth rate from 2015 to 2019 was 6.5%. Hong Kong imported 8,633 million worth of goods from Mexico in 2019. Major imports included electrical machinery, apparatus and appliances, and electrical parts. In 2019, Hong Kong domestic exports to Mexico included general industrial machinery and equipment, machine parts and electrical machinery, apparatus and appliances, and electrical parts thereof, jewelry and other articles of precious or semi-precious materials. Hong Kong is an important airport for merchandise between Mexico and the mainland China. In 2019, about 49,913 million represented around the 10% of the total trade between Mexico and mainland China. This was routed through Hong Kong.
and the Hong Kong location is very important for Mexican interest. Hong Kong welcomes overseas investment and offers an environment in which there is a free flow of capital and return on investment without exchange controls. Hong Kong and Mexico signed an investment promotion and protection agreement on January of 2020 to strengthen mutual investment protection. The agreement is set to enhance the confidence of investors, expand investment flows, and further strengthen the economic and trade ties between the two places. The agreement will enter into force after the fulfillment of relevant internal requirements by both sides.
About business opportunities. With the help of this agreement, we can highlight the following areas of opportunity. Number 1, trade and investment promotion. Number 2, customs clearance is the set of acts and formalities related to the entry of goods into the national territory and their exit from it. Number 3, quarantine and inspection of commodities, food safety and quality assurance. Number 4, electronic commerce. It's about the sale of services or products through current electronic means such as web pages, social networks, or online stores. Number 5, transparency in law and regulations. Number 6, Chinese medicine and medical products. Number 7, small and medium-sized enterprises.
Other information we consider relevant to mention is that the agreement between mainland China and Hong Kong on the establishment of closer economic and trade relations contained 6 chapters with 23 articles that detail the elements to be compliant between both economies. For example, Chapter 1 are general provisions, Chapter 2 are about merchandise trade, Chapter 3 it's about the origin, Chapter 4 trade and services, Chapter 5 trade and investment facilitations, and Chapter 6 other provisions. Okay, so thank you so much for your attention. We hope you enjoy our presentation.